occurred. There was 1 minute flat of riding time. Max Shaw advances because of riding time.
Our final bout in this opening round will be at heavyweight. Jonah Niesenbaum of Duke, Quinn Miller of Virginia. Niesenbaum, a junior, Allentown, Pennsylvania. Miller, the grad student, Lilburn, Georgia. Archer High School. Quinn Miller, 9-5. Two-time NCAA qualifier. Took third at the ACCs a couple of years ago. Early offense as he tried to shoot the low single, but Niesenbaum backs out of the way.
Miller is one of the smaller heavyweights in terms of weight, maybe around 235-ish. And Jonah Niesenbaum has a good build, and he can certainly fill out to become a bigger heavyweight.
Steve Garland was telling us about his relationship with Quinn Miller throughout his time here in Charlottesville, and told us that Quinn's parents, who live in Idaho, with his mom and sister, planning to be here on hand to watch him for the first time in person. Steve and his wife just spent so much time with Quinn, with his parents obviously in Idaho, the rural parts of Idaho. Doesn't get to see his family all that much, but a special moment today. Both mom and sister on hand to see if he can pull off some postseason magic today. The 4 seed for the Cavaliers.
Sean, you said the 4 seed, but this is interesting. As a 4 seed, Quinn Miller has beaten Jonah Niesenbaum this year, and he's beaten the #1 seed this year. So how he got the 4 seed, it doesn't really matter, but the fact that he's beaten the 2 guys he could wrestle to get to the finals must look good for Quinn Miller.
Niesenbaum this year at 16-9, but I tell you what, with the exception of his matchup with Traxler, this guy has been right there in every match. And you look at his improvement from last year and where he has come. Glenn Lanham and these coaches are really high on Jonah Niesenbaum.
Yes. And when talking to Coach Lanham, he said that, Jonah Niesenbaum could be one of the future stalemates of Duke wrestling. And Duke has had good success up at heavyweights. You go back to most recent upper weight and Jacob Casper. So Duke knows how to develop heavyweights and upper weights rather.
Yeah, you even go back further. Connor Hartman had all that success, and then even further back with Dudziak. So I mean, they have had, besides the fine silver runs, if the last over, it's been the upper, their noise.
Washington came all the way across the country and developed into a 3-time All-American and carried a Duke workload in academics. Good low single, but look at the hips getting heavy by Niesenbaum. That's important for Niesenbaum to get out, because Quinn Miller is able to return guys to the mat and has a good job, even though he's a smaller heavyweight, of putting the pressure on the hands. So the official said it's a stalemate because of intertwining of the fingers. If that happens again because of the intertwining of fingers, and when I say what it means, if there's another step, get shot by Niesenbaum. No. So at that point, you can see that they said throw the brick, because at this point they said they felt that was a takedown. The question is reaction time. Reaction time is something that is determined by the official. So they believe that shot right there merited a takedown. I felt that it was a takedown. I felt that there was enough to establish control. And so now they're going to look at it by an independent reviewer. Unlike the dual meet season is when they just have the officials to look at their own calls. However, they have an independent reviewer to say, hey, was that a takedown? I thought it was enough beyond reaction time, but reaction time is subjective. So this is in slow motion. So slow motion is going to look different, but he drove right through, covered both ankles, and he was crawling forward. So at that point, they're saying maybe the challenge is that it's subjective. Subjective. When you get to this level, how much is reaction time? And so they kept it. So after further review, no takedown, neutral by the independent reviewer. So reaction time was agreed with the independent reviewer, said that there was there was not enough reaction time.
Back to action in the first period, 1:14 to go and a 1-0 lead for Duke. You see Tom Erickson in the backdrop off in the Duke corner. It's his first year in Durham, widely recognized, one of the top heavyweight wrestlers of all time, but he's watching his heavyweight fend off a pretty good shot there by Miller.
Really good shot, even good defense. Sean, I think it's a good moment right now to talk about the brick, because in the NCAAs, especially the postseason, you get 3 challenges for every 10 wrestlers. So because everyone gets to go to the conference tournament, they all get 3 challenges. So Duke just threw out their first challenge and they lost it. So they have 2 more challenges. So they have to be very careful of when to make the next challenge, because you want to hold it as matches get a little more contentious. The problem is you never know if you should have made that challenge earlier or if you should have held it for another match.
First period winding down, one last offensive try, countered nicely by Miller. Does he have time to finish? Has Niesenbaum's leg, and the first period will come to an end.
Slow-mo here, banging heavyweights, nice high C, trying to cut the corner, meaning getting his head to the side. But what Niesenbaum is doing is trying to get his hips back. And he's getting heavy hips. When I say heavy hips, he's trying to get his hips away and his shoelaces flat to the mat. And he did a good job of that. And Duke gets pretty excited about that fight. Corey Bell.
We're tied at 1, early stages, second period. Jonah Niesenbaum is really a neat story when you look at his history, and he just hasn't wrestled a lot. This is a weight for Duke that they're trying to solidify, and this is his 4th year of wrestling. The long, lean heavyweight, was a hockey player in high school. Team captain, was the MVP of the hockey team in Salisbury. And take a look at where he has grown, his size and his technique. A lot of that credit goes to Tom Erickson this year with the development. This is a guy, I don't care if he was back in his 185-pound days or now up in this heavyweight, I would not want to see him on the ice near the boards coming at me.
I don't want to see him walking down the hall in my direction. Nice ankle pick. Woo-hoo-hoo. Nice ankle pick by a heavyweight. Niesenbaum can get his hips up. He's long. He's going to try and get his hips up. No, he's got to go towards the hip, not towards the head. He wants to go towards the hip. Yes, he wants to go that way. He wants to go towards his left. He's going to try and swivel. And at this point, Miller's back on top, and he's going to try to ice this match. Trying to ice this match to end the period, to end the round with a UVA win at JPJ. Look at this ankle pick. Lower the level. Give me that right ankle. And went for the 2 legs. So it just wasn't the ankle pick. As soon as he stayed down low, and Coach Erickson is frustrated, but that was pretty slick. I liked it for a heavyweight, for any weight.
Quinn Miller, the graduate student, the 2-time NCAA qualifier.